Fire me then. I have free speech. This is a public entity. You want to go down that road. Richard, also known as Dick, with Kansas Freedom News. I was going to do a whole story on the Jackson County Commissioners meeting yesterday, September 16th, 2024, as a big discussion around here nowadays seems to be the solar farm industry stuff. But as I was listening to some audio of this meeting that was sent to me, I'm going to have to change that, and as I found something more disturbing from our commissioners. Now, many of you cannot recognize this, probably won't recognize this, but if you're an avid civil rights person, you know your rights, you stand by your rights, you will see this plain as day. So I'm going to let the meeting play out, and you're going to hear civil rights violations being taken place against somebody, and it is very disturbing, because I want to remind you, the commissioners are acting in their official capacity. They are acting under the color of law. And any citizen, any free American citizen, taxpaying resident, has the right to speak in a public meeting when it's open to the public. I'll let you take a listen.
Good point, is it not, from a few years ago?
Well, I'm just calling it to your attention.
We already know that, ma'am.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I also have another question
Ask
that I would like answered from the commissioners. Did or did not the commissioners, the county of Jackson County, sue Nextera at some point? And I don't know what it was over, but there was some kind of issue that the county had some business with Nextera, the county had to sue. So why, please elaborate on that, because I really don't know all the details.
Sure.
And if the county sued Nextera, why would they ever trust Nextera again?
So, go ahead. Actually, we didn't sue them, and it was prior to all of us being on the commission. It was set up by previous commissioners to have Nextera pay for the renovation of one of our roads that they used as a haul route when they put in the Nemaha County wind. There was money set aside, and I believe a bond. And I will tell you, I had kind of a bad taste in my mouth when I first came in here because they hadn't paid us. We asked for it, and then finally we went to the attorney and said, hey, if they're not going to pay us to fix our roads that they use as a haul route, we're going to take you to court. Boom, it all went away because they provided us money to fix our roads that they use as a haul route. So
That money's been spent, the road's been rebuilt.
and it's a darn good road. So regardless, that's what you're referring to. That I don't know when it was set up, maybe 2018. Kate, were you around?
I don't recall.
Yeah, but it was to protect the county, and it was in place.
And I'd like to make a point also, because you keep referring to Nextera, and I want to make it clear, you were not in here when I said this before. We are not writing regulations for Nextera. We are writing regulations for any solar company who wants to come in and try to fit their business plan into our regulations. I don't care who it is. If it's Nextera, fine. If they can fit it into that, that's fine. If it's Southern Solar from Florida, I don't care. If they cannot fit their business plan into our regulations, then there won't be a solar facility in Jackson County. And another point I'd like to make is, this was a bond that the previous commissioner set up. I've said all along, I don't want a bond. I want the money in escrow, We'll give them so long to put the money into escrow, because they're not gonna wanna drop a chunk of change like that into an escrow account right off the bat, okay? So they will have a time period, 5 years, 6 years, to put that in there, and it will be revisited every 3 years by an independent third party to make sure that there's money set aside for, enough money set aside every 3 years, so that for recommissioning or decommissioning, for roads, for resiliency, for the surrounding communities. All of these will be in an escrow account, not the bond. So we won't have to go through the, we got to sue them, okay?
It's like the lack of tax that the state of Kansas does not allow us to collect. I identify it as like a baseball field. You have 1 base, 2 base, 3 base, 4 base. That needs to be in place. If they don't want to do it, then so be it. It won't happen. But whatever company is, as Commissioner Pruet said, we're not just writing it for one. We're writing it for the entire county for other energy companies. I'll take you back. Most of you probably didn't live here during that time in the 70s. I grew up just east of town. We had the chance to put in Jeffrey Energy Center, but the commissioners voted it out. That would have been a tremendous asset for this county. All they did is go across the county line, put it in Pop County, and we have suffered since that with loss of revenues. The Onega Hospital gets money from it, the Onega school districts, and probably other school districts too, along those lines.
Okay.
I just
I'm
want to
not,
respond
Mr. Hoffman.
I just want to respond to
Jeffrey Energy Center.
No, enough. You have an attorney, you'll need to go through your attorney to our attorney
To do what?
to communicate with this board.
Okay.
You sent the letter to us, you
Yeah.
started that process,
Okay.
so that's the process that you want to communicate with us. Until our attorney is told otherwise, you don't get to communicate with us one-on-one. Go through your attorney.
You got it.
All right? Yes, Pam?
But Mr. Hoffman is a member of the public, is he not able to
He
speak
chose
in
this
the
direction.
public?
I'll let our attorney explain this.
Does he, I mean, he relinquishes those rights to speak at a public meeting?
No, he doesn't relinquish any rights, he hasn't relinquished any rights. He has chosen himself to seek this method of communication because he has I think, more than a political issue here. So I'm not going to go into detail about it. I think we both are trying to respect at least the legal side of this, and would hope that that would continue.
Anything else?
Can he be put on the agenda to speak?
No.
No.
His lawyer can come sit in front of us and communicate if that's the way he
Or
so
he can
chooses.
talk,
He
his
pays
lawyer,
taxes in the county, he can't be put on the
his lawyer
agenda.
can talk to me too about
He chose this, not me.
changing that setup. If he wants to become a public commenter, then we'll address the way that it's done.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it.
And I am too. But again, understand, he made that decision, not us.
So if you hire a lawyer to represent you, you can no longer speak at a public
We're not
meeting,
getting-
even though you're a taxpayer.
We're not going to, I'm just going to call it, I mean, again, this is regarding things that are not part of this process.
Correct.
And there can be an accord where this is, where he can have that free, but
Yeah,
there has to be an understanding that is not our understanding right now.
that's correct. All right, anybody, any other comments from anybody else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you guys.
Yep, have a great day.
Thank you.
Can read that, pass it down.
All right, so what you got here, guys, is an obvious violation of somebody's First Amendment rights. Constitutional rights being violated by these three commissioners in their official capacity under the color of law. Now, this is a Section 8 or Title 18, Section 241 violation, a Title 18, Section 242 violation, and we'll go over that here in a little bit. Now, this is very disturbing. This is why I kind of pushed aside the solar issue and came straight to this, because this issue here can cost this county loads of money in a federal lawsuit. That's right. That's a federal lawsuit. Violating somebody's civil liberties is federal. Now, did you guys hear that Todd Luckman, legal counsel for the Board of Commissioners? He clearly stated when asked, does somebody relinquish their rights to speak in a public meeting open to the public, when the floor is open to the public? He clearly said no, he does not. But yet they violated him. They restricted him. Guys, you can't get no more plainer than this. The attorneys said no, he does not relinquish his rights to free speak in a public meeting. But yet the actions and the words from Keith Kelly clearly violating this man's rights is plain as day. And then you go on to hear Todd Luckman make excuses. Well, we're going to get into those excuses here real soon. Now, guys, this is why I always preach and always try to reinstate. You must always record your government. Always record your interactions with government. Record all meetings, because they will lie to you. Plain as day. They will violate you, and then it's your word versus their word. And who do you think's going to win when you fight the government? You've got to have proof, guys. You got to have evidence. And this here is going to be evidence and proof for Mr. Tom Hoffman. But let's get into Title 18, Section 241, Conspiracy Against Rights. This statute makes it unlawful for two or more persons to conspire, to injure, oppress, threaten, keywords, threaten or intimidate any person of any state, territory, or district in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him or her by the Constitution or the laws of the United States, or because of his or her having exercised the same. You can't get more plainer than that, guys. Two or more persons. Two or more persons. All right, Title 18, Section 242, Deprivation of Rights under Color of Law. This statute makes it a crime for any person acting under the color of law, statute, ordinance, regulation, or custom to willfully deprive or cause to deprive from any person those rights, privileges, or immunities secured or protected by the Constitution and the laws of the U.S. Now, acts under color of any law include acts not only done by federal, state, or local officials within the bounds or limits of their lawful authority, but also acts done without and beyond the bounds of their lawful authority, provided that in order for unlawful acts of any official to be done under color of any law, the unlawful acts must be done while in such official is purporting or pretending to act in the performance of his, her official duties. Pay close attention to that. Official is purporting or pretending to act in the performance of his, her official duties. This definition includes, in addition, law enforcement officials, individuals such as mayors, council persons, judges, nursing home proprietors, security guards, etc. Persons who are bound by laws, statutes, and ordinance or customs. And you guys can look that up and read some more. But let's get into, I got a hold of Tom Hoffman. Finally, after several emails, phone calls, and text messages, somebody gave me an email. So I sent him an email asking him to respond to this. And here's what Mr. Tom Hoffman had to say. Regarding Jackson County Commissioner's statement to me in the Commissioners meeting on September 16, 2024, during the period that the Commissioners were fielding comments and or questions from public citizens attending the meeting. There is no letter stating all comments had to go through attorneys, as a Commissioner and County Counsel claimed. They were put on notice in April 2024 with a cease and desist letter. What they did here appears to be a clear violation of my First Amendment rights. Was this more attempts of intimidation by some of the county commissioners? Yes, this was a clear violation of his First Amendment rights. And I've heard so many stories about commissioners intimidating people, and I think there was one story, and maybe that person will come across this and be able to verify that. But I heard there was a county employee who quit because of a commissioner's actions, that maybe they felt intimidated or embarrassed or something. That's the story I heard. I can't confirm that, so maybe that person will reach out. ksfreedomnews@gmail.com if you have a story you would like to share. Let's continue to Tom Hoffman. A little backstory. This started at a Jackson County Commissioners meeting, I believe in August 2023, where a county commissioner approached someone I know and made a bunch of very offensive, bigoted remarks about me and my type of people. That person wanted to verbally rip into that commissioner but did not act and called me. I said not to worry about it. It will probably just go away, as the commissioner was at the courthouse in what appeared to be in an official capacity. Those bigoted comments could be criminal violation of 1964 Civil Rights Act. It's very possible, given the specifics of the comment. I continued to hear unverified rumors of similar bigotry, apparently originating from a different county commissioner, were continuing in Hoyt. I know very few people in Hoyt, and again, I let it go. However, in April of 2024, when a commissioner stated to someone else I knew in that area, that person made it clear to me how awful the bigoted comments the commissioner made about trying to keep those kind of people out. This time, I did not let it go. I had known about this happening for at least 8 months, but it was probably much longer. I contemplated filing a criminal complaint against the two commissioners, but decided to have my attorney send cease and desist letters. These two commissioners should be thankful they are not fighting a criminal legal system right now. There was also a follow-up regulation demand letter. What commissioners and the county council said in this meeting appeared to violate my First Amendment rights. If we were in active litigation, it would be a different matter. You're right. Yeah, I agree. As far as a major zoning regulation development has been conducted, how the commissioners are going about it is unprecedented in a county with a planning commission. Previously, in an advertisement, I had mistakenly mentioned a state statute that is for urban counties, which proved to be incorrect because the statute does not apply to rural counties such as Jackson County. Thus, I can see mistakes happen. Last year, a Jackson County Commissioner contacted the county clerk about signage stating I had violated a state statute. That commissioner did not understand that state statute. Later in 2024, the same Jackson County Commissioner contacted the billboard owner and was referencing more state statutes and possibly zoning violations. Of course, that was also incorrect, and those statutes did not apply in this situation. Maybe that is why we have attorneys to double check some of this. Taken as a whole, the above facts indicated on the part of one or more of the current members of Jackson County Board of Commissioners a clear pattern of intent to demean people, and just as important, to deprive me of my First Amendment right to free speech. Thank you, Tom Hoffman. Now, what I'll do is I'll let Tom's words speak for themselves. I don't know about that situation, so I cannot comment on that. But I will end with this. You guys, you need to learn and understand your rights. You need to record your government, all meetings, and every interactions you have with them, because they can lie, they will lie, and your word versus theirs, you know who's going to win every time, and it's not going to be you. So I want to end with this. Remember the acronym RAPS, R-A-P-P-S. That is your 5 freedoms granted to you under the First Amendment. R stands for religion. You have the right for your free religion. A, for your right to assemble. P, right to be a free press. You all are press. If you type something up, send an email, type it on Facebook, Twitter, whatever, that's press. Your right to free press. Petition. Your other P, right to petition for grievances of your government. Petition the redress of grievances of your government. And S obviously is speech. RAPPS, pretty simple to remember the 5 freedoms granted to you under the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. And I please dire everybody to know their rights, stand up for your rights, stop putting up with this stuff, guys. It's enough. I mean, when they violate one person's rights, you need to understand they violate all of ours. So, but I'll end with that. I hope you all have a safe and wonderful rest of the week. God bless. Stand up for your rights, because if you don't, nobody else will.